When a young child starts out on this number knowledge learning journey, they can't yet count. But we're going to get them counting by firstly showing them how to say the right numbers in the right order, eventually counting a group of objects and telling us how many there are, and one day being able to really connect with a certain value by identifying it from within a larger group. There's a lot more that we could say about this learning to count process, but at the highest level, it involves an adult communicating to a child, "I want you to be able to count." Ironically, fairly soon after the child has success with this counting, us adults are going to come along and say to the child, "Don't count." We could ask the child to count out 3 and 2 more, and they might successfully count the total as 5. But very soon afterwards, along comes an adult, explicitly saying to the child, "Notice that 3 and 2 more is always 5, so let's not count that next time." These number facts are really best thought of as counting facts, and children should see them as counting shortcuts. This is the big message to learners of number knowledge. We count, and then we don't count. Let's take 6 add 7 equals 13. It's useful for a child at some point in their lives to count this out and realise, or we could say derive, for themselves that the total is 13. But soon, an adult comes along and points out to the child that even when the child becomes an elderly person, even at the age of 100, 6 and 7 more will still be 13. So, as teachers, we need to show that 26 add 7, for example, is solved by using counting facts, not by counting. We might show the counting on, so the learner can see and understand what's happening, but we definitely don't want to encourage the strategy of counting on, because that is going back to counting all over again. In other words, we can show the counting on to illustrate not to count on. Let's take 7 add 466. People sometimes say to children, "Put the big number in your head and count on." But this too encourages counting. It is encouraging the child to count out 6 add 7 all over again, albeit bolted on to a larger number. This would again be teaching inefficiency, and we should be teaching not counting. Of course, if the child hasn't got the recall of 6 add 7 equals 13, they need to get it, but not here, at 466, but rather back on its own as a 1-digit add 1-digit counting fact. Children are naturally good at categorization, and from a young age as well. Dog, cat. So share these 2 categories. Counting, not counting. And this is vital, unlike dog and cat, what happens is a number bond moves categories. It shifts from being counted to not being counted. So don't just share the categories, share the shift. Be explicit. Look kids, this is moving. It's here now. And so, 3 clear takeaways. Share the 2 categories, share the shift, and eliminate re-entry. Make sure your school has a strong, explicit system that breaks down all the number facts into very small groups so that all teachers can see, here it comes, now we're counting it, now is the shift, and now we reinforce its new position. And if you're looking for a platform that has already done the hard work systemizing all this for you, then check out Winning with Numbers at www.wwnumbers.com.